So this is a headline. Now, again, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't read this in advance. I'm saving this one. This is a headline that I saw that really was like, okay, I'll talk about this on the show. Why not? Teen dies on new Los Angeles bridge. That's a hotspot for social media stunts. A 17-year-old boy fell to his death while climbing a Los Angeles bridge in an apparent social media stunt, police said. Police were sent to the 6th Street Viaduct around 2 a.m. Saturday and found the boy, who was pronounced dead at a hospital. His name wasn't immediately released. The teen slipped and fell when climbing upon one of the arches in order to post, apparently, a social media broadcast, Police Chief Michael Moore said Tuesday during a meeting on the Los Angeles Police Commission. Now, before we get into more of this one, I just want to say, you know what? These arches, they look pretty fun to sit on top of. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. I totally see it. Now, again, not wanting to die, I would not climb one of these arches because I have a fear of heights. Real quick sidebar. There's research into whether or not things like phobias, we're talking about real phobias, not racism or anything like that. We're talking about like arachnophobia or being afraid of heights or stuff like that. There's evidence to suggest, and again, the jury is still out on this one, that trauma is something that alters your epigenetics, which can relate to how you pass genes onto your offspring. So we can make an argument that, according to this theory, that our ancestors, if you're afraid of heights, maybe fell and maybe they got injured, but they survived, and then heights scared the shit out of them, and then thousands and thousands of generations later, we're afraid of heights. But I guess not everyone has that built-in trauma response that keeps them alive, and as we see here, it results in people falling off of arches and dying, right? So again, I'm not trying to make a weird science thing, I'm just throwing that out there for fun. But I guess again, generational trauma, not always bad, when it comes to being afraid of heights, right? The bridge opened last July. The $588 million span, which replaced an 84-year-old Art Deco span, runs 3,500 feet over the concrete-lined Los Angeles River and connects downtown on the historic East Side. A bunch of words that mean nothing to me. The bridge, which has thousands of LED lights and views LA's skyline, is the largest and most expensive span ever built in the city. Is span a word that we use is that a synonym for bridge now? What the fuck? I've never heard span used in this goddamn context. Oh yeah, that's a span over there. Oh, I'm driving along the span. What the fuck? What, a span? I'm sorry, come on now. Can we get back to planet Earth on this one? But police closed the bridge several times after it quickly became a hotspot for street racing, graffiti, oh Lord have mercy, and illegal takeovers that drew hundreds of spectators to watch drivers perform dangerous stunts with their vehicles. Social media stunts abounded as well. In one case, a man sat in the barber's chair for a haircut in the middle of the lanes. A man was also fatally shot on the bridge in January during unauthorized filming of a music video. What the fuck? I want to learn more about that. How come there's no, citation? What the fuck? A man was fatally shot on the bridge during an unauthorized filming of a music video. Okay, so you're going to film a music video. How the fuck do you get shot? Did cops shoot him? Did some random vigilante? I want to learn more about that. Anyway, so I want to turn this also into a segment talking about social media, right? What would possibly compel somebody to want to get to the top of an arch where if they make one small mistake, they're dead? Right now, again, this is apparently done for a social media stunt. Think about it. What is social media? It is a drug That's right. I know a lot of people get, this is controversial. I get pushback when I say this. Social media is a drug in the same way that alcohol is a drug and should be thought of and classified as such. When you go on social media, your brain is exposed to millions of different things that you are not capable of properly understanding, and without proper safety and caution when using the internet, it can make you insane, right? So we've seen this all across the world. But what happens when you give, I don't know, an 8-year-old unlimited access to beer? Well, they may develop an alcoholistic dependency, right? So what happens when you give an 8-year-old or an entire generation of 8-year-olds access to social media every single day? It warps their brains while they're developing, and they become obsessed with clout. They want to become famous, and that is their drug of choice. In this instance, it acts on dopamine receptors in the brain. They want to become famous. They want to get the likes. They want to get the retweets. They want people to do react videos. They want people to talk about them. Their drug of choice is attention, and the way that they can get that drug of choice is the internet. So they come up with bizarre, stupid social media stunts that risk their lives because they know, yeah, you might die, but if you survive, you'll become famous. So it's a risk and reward type situation. They're not properly factoring the risk in, and they're overanalyzing and hyper-focusing on the reward, which, to be honest with you, do you want to become famous? Do you really want to become famous? Do you understand what that does to your psyche? I don't know, man. You see a lot of famous people, they're fucked up, right? So again, it turns into a crazy sort of addiction cycle where you're addicted to the dopamine rush that you get from using social media from a young age. Hey, maybe that might result in you wanting to almost jump off a bridge for views. I don't know, man. Something to think about anyway. But there you go. There's a bridge in Los Angeles, and apparently someone got shot there during a music. I want to read more about that. Fuck this whole guy killing himself for something stupid. I want to hear more about this music video. Lord.